Namaste and welcome. It's Rishi here from MeditateWithRishi.com. And today we are answering the question, can meditation help ADHD? Okay, so this video is going to be in two parts. First, we're going to speak about how meditation helps ADHD very simply, so you understand it and you're very clear on that. And secondly, we're going to speak about what if you have ADHD and you struggle with trying to meditate, with doing a sitting practice because your mind is all over the place. Then what do you do, right? So stick around till the end because I'm going to give you two softer meditation exercises that are really going to help you to calm down and still gain the benefits of meditation. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, firstly, I want to say this, that whether you're watching this for yourself or your child, we need to move away from labels, especially labels like ADHD. They are limiting, they become a part of our identity. And ultimately, who is putting this label? Who is deciding that you or your child has got attention deficiency? Just because somebody does not concentrate in a classroom, right, doesn't mean that they have a deficiency of attention. The moment they find something they like or they love, that they're passionate about, attention will come automatically. Okay, so we're all unique human beings and we need to be treated as such. In fact, we need to treat ourselves and our children as such. This is the problem with putting everybody through one system, one schooling system, right? Everyone is unique. You know that saying that if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's always going to be a failure in your eyes, right? And this is what we're doing with ourselves and our kids, essentially. So what we need to focus on is finding what is our passion, what is our strength, and essentially cultivating that and nurturing that. And thankfully, we live in the day and age where anybody can become anything because they have access to the world in terms of information and in terms of prospective clients. Okay, all right, so I'm going off on a tangent. So let's get into the video. Can meditation help ADHD? The very simple answer is yes, of course it can. Why? Because if ADHD is, attention deficiency, meditation is a training in attention. Very simply, that's what it is, right? So let's say, for example, you decide that you're meditating on the breath, okay? So you sit down and you begin to focus on the breathing. Focus on the breathing. And naturally, a thought comes in your mind. Now, normally when a thought comes, we ride the thought, right? So if you realize, oh, I need to figure out what I'm having for dinner. And then if you ride the thought and think about, should I have a burger? Should I have soup? Should I have this, that? Where do I get the recipe, right? That means that the thought has taken you. You have essentially, gone with the thought. So the training in meditation is not to go with the thought, but rather to come back to the breath, to keep your attention where you intended to keep it in the first place. And the more you do this, naturally, the stronger your mental muscles get and the better your attention gets. So even when it comes to day-to-day tasks that you may not particularly enjoy, you're still able to be focused enough to complete them. So very simply, this is how meditation helps. In fact, it is the best thing you can do for a condition like ADHD. Okay. Now, in terms of research, in the past 20 years, there has been tons of research, tons of studies, tons of experiments that have proven that meditation is perfect for increasing the attention span, for making us calmer. So many kids who have been on medication have been able to come off medication. Science has more than proven this, so I'm not going to get into that in this video. We're just going to say very simply that without a doubt, meditation can help because it is an exercise in attention. Okay, now we come to the second part, which is if you are somebody who has tried to meditate but find it really difficult because when you sit, your mind is just too active, it's overactive, it's all over the place. Then what do? Because every time you sit, you simply can't focus and it just doesn't work, okay? So this is where we need to take a bit of a softer approach, okay? Instead of just sitting and trying to focus the mind straight away, we want to do a few things to help us calm the mind first before trying the sitting practice, okay? A very simple way to think of this is that the more of our senses that we engage, the easier it is to focus. So the perfect example of this is if you think about when you're watching a movie and having popcorn, right? You're watching a movie, having popcorn, you're just totally engaged. Like you don't even realize when you finish the bucket of popcorn because you are engaging all your senses, right? Seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, all of them being engaged. So it's very easy to focus. Now, obviously, that's not meditation because it is stimulating you. We want to find practices that are calming in nature, okay? So I'm going to give you two specific exercises you can do. There's one you can do outdoors, which is called walking meditation or mindfulness of walking, okay? And here, really simply, you are walking, just with the intention to be mindful and to enjoy the walking. As the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh says, that you walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet. So you simply walk and mentally you can say left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. It's nothing too straining. You're just simply walking, your whole body, all your senses are being engaged and you're just focusing on taking one step at a time, one step at a time. If you do this even for 10 minutes, you will be much calmer. The mind will have settled quite a bit. And then you can go ahead and try the sitting practice. Another option, if you are indoors, is something called writing meditation. Yes, writing meditation. This is actually an ancient yogic practice called Likita Japa, which means you are writing, instead of reciting a mantra, you are writing the mantra, okay? So if you have a mantra, you can write a mantra, or you can pick a word, a positive word like peace, like love, like abundance. And again, same way, like walking, you set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes and you sit down comfortably, you get your pen and paper and you simply write that word again and again and again. You fill the page, you fill a couple of pages, and this will calm you. Again, all the senses are being engaged, a lot of them anyway, and you simply write and you feel much calmer, feel more relaxed, and then you can go ahead and try the sitting practice. The sitting practice is definitely recommended. So these are not substitutes, but rather supplements to a sitting practice because it is in the total stillness of body, in sitting meditation, where the real magic happens, where the real inner transformation happens. So I would definitely recommend always, having sitting as a core practice and using these others to kind of supplement your practice to calm you down initially before you go ahead and you sit for some time. Okay, so that's pretty much it, right? Can meditation help ADHD? Of course it can, because it is an exercise in attention. If you can't practice sitting meditation straight away because your mind is all over the place, then you have a couple of options to calm down first. You can try walking meditation, you can try writing meditation, you can wash the dishes, you can do anything. One thing that is very engaging for you, that is very nourishing for you, and essentially use that as a practice of mindfulness before going into sitting. And I'll finish with this. It is when you do these practices, you realize the importance of spending most of our day doing one thing at a time. You realize the importance of doing one thing at a time, because when you're doing one thing at a time, you are naturally very calm, you're naturally very focused. So that means that if you're working or you're studying, you don't have your WhatsApp open, you don't have your notifications on, because the moment they come, your mind, you're distracted, you go there, and then it's very easy then to ride the thoughts instead of staying where you want to stay. So because we live in a world that is full of distractions, we need to take extra care that we are being mindful, that we are doing one thing at a time. And in this way, we will be able to essentially increase our attention spans and not have to bother with labels like ADHD, ADD, and all these kind of modern modern I don't know what to call them, right? Let's just stay away from them. That's the point. Let's just stay away from them. Okay, so that is it. I really hope that this helps. If you want kind of extra support, right? The video is pretty informative. If you want some extra support, if you want to do some one-to-one sessions with me, then head over to MeditateWithRishi.com and see if there is a time available where we can book a chat and see how I can help. But apart from that, thank you very much for listening. Namaste.